Glad to have you back. I'm David Mulligan with the Writer's Block on Virtual Channel Network. Today we are continuing our coverage of Inception, an Oscar-nominated script by Christopher Nolan. 39. Okay. So there is a big importance in this story on a dreamer's talisman. In this case, I think they call it something else. Not a talisman? Well, we'll find that. But it's something for them to show themselves that they're not in their own dream. And what I like about this is if you go down, you'll see Cobb grabs it like a drowning man reaches for a lifeline. That's how important it is to him. However he does it, however any actor does it, whether you have Leonardo DiCaprio do it or Kevin Spacey do it or whoever, that you can do it a million different ways. But it's important that that object is that significant to the main character. Very, very nice. Said short, sweet, but not telling the actor how to act, but just telling him how important it is. You see how he does that? Take a look at that. It's really cool. I really like how he does that. 45. Okay, so we're back to the mechanism, and I want to bring this up again. 45, interior workshop day. Arthur sits at the table working on the mechanism. A small cough prompts him to look up. Adrian is there. But I only want to talk about the first sentence. So you want to have one of the characters be able to work on the device, obviously, if you're going to have the device. If you're going to have a Area 51 movie, you're going to have scientists working on the spacecraft that they have or doing the autopsy. You want to have that. And it's said here, and of course it's just simply referred to as a mechanism, not what he's doing. He's not taking it apart or cleaning, or he's just working on it. And it's enough. And in fact, the header, it says interior workshop. I don't even know what that means. Well, what does that mean exactly? That's it, interior workshop day. Let's move on. We're telling a story. Nuts and bolts. Let's get moving. And it works because even though those things have to be in there, we need them in there, he kind of just, moves on and gets with the story. But also he continually mentions it as mechanism, which is a kind of a cool thing. He could have called it something, like in Blade Runner, the device that they use in Blade Runner to detect whether a person is a replicant or not is called Voight Comp. Something like that. Voight, I'm not really sure now. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot what it's called. But they actually have a name for that device, and the device is pretty cool. But in this case, he just calls it a mechanism, and who cares? Move on. So the reason that I bring it up is, can you do the same thing, right? So you write a spec script about something, and in it is a device or some sort of a thing that does not exist in the real world. Do you have to describe it in minute detail? No, you don't. And if you don't, will it take away from the telling of the story? No. In this case, no. Otherwise, this movie would have never been made. Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't have been in it. His brother wouldn't have directed. Well, maybe his brother would have directed it anyway, but still, it's now Oscar nominated, potentially Oscar winner, and look how far he goes with describing a device that doesn't exist in the real world, just only in his imagination. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. You go down a little bit down the page and you see Arthur picks up his mechanism. Just calls it a mechanism. I don't even know what that is. But the story continues, and really, under the circumstances, it's good enough for me. 53. So we have the elderly bald man. And the elderly bald man is one of the people who has... I'm not sure if he's addicted to these sort of dream states. That is, with the same chemical compounds they use in the device, other people are using for, dare I say it, recreation. Because, as it's explained in the story, when you dream, the dream is much longer than reality. 5 minutes is an hour, or 5 minutes is a week, or depending on some different parameters. But in this case, this elderly bald man is one of several dozen people who spend 3 to 4 hours a day injecting this compound so that they can dream. And when they dream, those dreams are much longer than the 3 or 4 hours they're giving up in that state. So they're actually living a more fuller life. I don't know about that, but he says this is very interesting. They come here to be woken up. The dream has become their reality. And who are you to say otherwise? And of course, he's talking to Cobb. I like that. What that is what he's talking about is theme. Because I believe, and read it yourself and decide for yourself, and maybe even Christopher Nolan has his own views on what the theme is, but I believe a lot of the theme has to do with our knowledge, whether we know we're in reality or not. Kind of an Alice in Wonderland Matrix sort of thing. Is this really the reality? And are dreams just as real? So on and so forth. And of course, that is Cobb's problem. That's the main character's problem of knowing what's reality. And what this is kind of throwing a wrench in the works in his journey, in his character arc, on trying to understand reality. And this man is showing him the consequences of really just giving in and using these compounds, using these devices to remain in this dream state on a daily basis. So very interesting. So take a look at that. It's maybe you can derive how he's expressing the different point of views of the theme, the different points of view of solving the problem that he has. Yeah, take a look. Let's take a break, and I will see you next time. I'm David Mulligan for the Writer's Block on Virtual Channel Network. Join me next time as we continue to take a look at Inception, written by Christopher Nolan.